I have bought another car and it's not even for me. Now, if you know these cars, you can probably already tell from what's behind me. It's a convertible and it has pop-ups. Can you tell what it is yet? So I have bought a 1990 Mazda MX-5 or Unos Roadster, as this is an import. Now, this car isn't for me. This is for my fiance. This is her dream car, and we finally managed to get a hold of one. We've been trying to get one for ages now, but we've finally done it, and I love it. We travelled 2 hours to get this car, and we drove it back. I drove it back 2 hours all the way home, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It ain't even my car. I love it. Now, this car is by no means perfect. It has got a lot of faults. It has got, well, not really faults, but kind of inconvenient things. First of all, the paintwork isn't great. It definitely needs a paint job, especially these arches, because there's just no clear coat on these whatsoever. And they need a proper polish, but I think we're just going to go for a full respray. Because again, you got all this lacquer peel or clear coat peel, whatever you want to call it, and whatever this is, that needs sorting out as well. But that's all over the car really. It's the same sort of thing all over. There's a slight dent there, but again, all of this stuff is going to get sorted out. And even on the front bumper here, as you can see, but all of it is going to get sorted out. We are going to fully respray it and replace parts that need replacing. I mean, for example, where was it? These, they just look a bit horrible, really. I think they're actually wrapped. But yeah, these side indicators or side reflectors, whatever they are, they just look a bit tatty now, so they need to be replaced. The wing mirrors, these things are loose and they're just a bit wobbly, so they need sorting out or replacing. The window regulator / window motor, something like that, needs replacing because the window doesn't fully work properly. It moves about a centimetre, which ain't good. Driver's side one works though. Now, this bit here is pretty much the only bad rust that is on the car, and to be honest, I don't think it's really that bad. The same story with these back ones, they just look awful. They need sorting out. I think they're just reflectors, but they need replacing. The tail lights, I think they've probably got a little wrap on them because they look darker than normal OEM ones, and my partner wants to get clear ones anyway, which I think is a great idea. So at some point they will be replaced, but for now they're working, they're perfectly fine. We're not going to be too worried about them yet. And one of the best parts, it don't leak. These wheels, they're also the OEM Unos wheels. We don't really like them, so she's going to replace them as well at some point. This tyre also has a slow puncture, so we're just going to do wheels and tyres at the same time. They're 14 inch, we're going to be going up to 15 inch, which to me, if you ask me, is the perfect size for wheels on an MX-5 / Miata / Roadster, whatever you want to call it. Now, there was an issue with the driver's side door. Basically, the door spring inside had broken off, so you couldn't actually get the driver's side door open. This morning, however, we actually fixed that, and I've made a shorts video / TikTok video / Instagram reel on what I actually did to get the door open in the first place and where the spring's meant to go. I didn't make a video on how to actually install the spring or anything like that, but you can check that out on my Instagram or TikTok or in the shorts if you wanted to see that. But the door does now open and is fully working and fully operable, whatever you want to call it. which is rather nice. Because before we actually done that spring, we either had to put the top down and climb over or climb in through the passenger side door, which was okay, but it's very inconvenient. Now on the interior we have the OEM seats, which are actually incredibly comfortable. Any old JDM car that I've ever sat in, the seats have always been really comfortable, and it just makes me wonder what happened, because these seats in this MX-5, 1990 MX-5, are more comfortable than the seats in my 2012 GT86. Explain that one. We also have all of the trim panels, however, there are lots of broken clips and screws and such like, so at some point these may need replacing, but for now, they're okay, they're all secure-ish, so we're not too worried about that. There's also some JBL speakers. A Pioneer aftermarket radio, however, we're going to be replacing that soon because that doesn't have Bluetooth, so we'll be replacing that soon. And the speakers as well, because we like Pioneer speakers, so they'll both be done at the same time. Another thing as well is this has AC, which is a massive thing for us. We love AC, so it is awesome that we've got that. And it also has power steering, and it also has a Momo steering wheel. Again though, this steering wheel will be getting replaced for something different. It's not exactly, it just doesn't feel the way that she likes, and that's fair enough. This steering wheel came on the car, so she's gonna get something which she does like and does prefer, so that's gonna be replaced. I'm not really too sure what we're gonna do with this steering wheel yet, but we'll figure that one out. But otherwise, the interior is very clean. I mean, yes, it does need a good hoover and a bit of a clean up because it's a bit dusty, but for the most part, the interior is actually really good. It's fully leak proof, so it is actually really good. And another little cool feature that we have here is, obviously because it's an import, basically everything that normally has writing or any information on it is all in Japanese, and I just think that is really, really cool. And another thing as well, the roof goes down. The only downside to the interior is there's meant to be a little clock here, however that's broken, so it got taken out. But that's fine, because you can get online, you can buy these little cubby holes like this bit here, but it's just extended all the way over, and that's just a little bit more practical. We don't really need a clock. And another good thing, it also sounds pretty damn good. Now the exhaust, yeah, okay, it doesn't sound too bad, but she's looking for a different kind of tone and a different sound and a different volume. Perfectly fine. So at some point we're going to be replacing this exhaust as well for something maybe a little bit louder and a little bit deeper. Now we've only got the soft top, we don't have a hard top just yet, but that is something that we will be doing very soon. Especially now that we actually have the driver's side door open, because what we didn't want to do is we didn't want to put a hard top on it and then not be able to open the door. It's just not a good idea. But now that the door works, we're going to be looking into getting a hard top for it. Again, the driver's side wing is exactly the same as the passenger side. It has no clear coat on it whatsoever, so that needs repainting as well. The headlights work, everything, all the lights work, everything is basically really sweet. There's a couple of things in the engine which need sorting out, otherwise it's perfectly fine. For example, this is the thermostat temperature sensor. The wire has broken off from the housing, so that's just going to get done with a spade connector, and we're going to reconnect that back up, and that'll be job done. And the AC radiator could probably do with replacing. And in good JDM fashion, you can't really see it, but there is an oil leak as well, which is fun, but it's not too bad, so we'll get that sorted at some point. But we definitely won't leave it as it is. It will be getting sorted, just we have to sort other bits and bobs first. Now everything was sweet and everything was running awesome until 2 days ago when the clutch went. We believe it's most likely just old age, that the clutch has probably never been replaced since 1990, so it's just got old and knackered, so it needed replacing, but we didn't know that, and so the clutch is gone. However, we have already ordered a brand new clutch and a brand new slave cylinder. Incredibly, they are super cheap. A new clutch kit for this, 3-piece clutch kit, that was £122. That's incredible. And a slave cylinder was like 25 quid. Madness. But this car will be back on the road in about a week's time, so that's not too much of a problem. We're getting all the other little bits and bobs sorted before then, or what we can. For example, the door spring, we done that this morning, and any other little bits and bobs that we can do, we are doing. So all in all, welcome this new car to the whole list of projects which we're going to be doing here. And if you like MX-5s, I highly recommend that you hit that subscribe button, because this car is going to be on the channel a lot. We're going to be covering pretty much whatever we can when it comes to doing things to this car, modifications, paint jobs, taking it to shows, whatever. It'll all be covered on this channel. So if you like this car and you like MX-5s, and maybe even you want to learn a little bit about them, because I will also be showing you some things and like how to fix things and whatnot. So if you're interested in that, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.